Mike, is that you? You there? Hopefully you can hear me.
2 o'clock, right? You're gonna get to my
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Boys, girls, or whatever. I should have to be politically correct. Okay, so I've been away for a couple days. I've been working really hard, doing some free broadcasts on my site. We just had Mike Clark Saturday, and we had Daniel Glass Sunday. And I was exhausted yesterday, and I apologize. And I'm back onto my schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 p.m., my YouTube channel. And for the drum set application, my online site, which is MattPatellaLiveLessons.com. So, is that you, Mike, in there? I was loosening up, and what I want to do today is just, hopefully there's a lot of questions, and working out some of the cobwebs on your hands, and understanding the level concept, developing different feels on the drum pad. And like I said, only because this is YouTube, I'm only going to do a one surface application. And like I said, this evening at 8 p.m., my live online lesson site, MattPatellaLiveLessons.com, and we do a drum set application. So before I go forward, is there anyone that has a question? Anything that they want me to go over in particular? I mean, we're talking hand technique, we're talking rudiments, developing accents, the level system. Any questions? Any requests? Now there's 3 people watching so far. I'm a little early, and no one is responding in the chat. Alright, I'm going to continue to do my 3-minute vamp. Hold on. This is an 1/8 note vamp. I'm taking 1/8 notes, 4 measures with the right hand, 4 measures with the left hand, just to loosen up. This is what I do sometimes to loosen up, only because I don't have the time to sit there and do full strokes, which you should do, actually. There's a reason for that, and I'm not being a good example of that. So here we go. 1/8 note vamp. 4 measures and 4 measures. 2. 1, 2, 3. Real low. 4. Okay, can everybody hear me? Whoever's here? Alright. There's another exercise I'd like to do, and I've gone over this in the past. While I'm doing the vamp, I'm maintaining one sound. And I like to accent two measures of the downbeat, meaning I'm going to accent 1, 2, 3, 4, and for two measures. And then for the next two measures, I'm going to accent the ands. So let me just demonstrate the first measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now that's exaggerating. If I slowed it down, it would be down, up, down, up. That's the part of the level system. The downstroke is giving me the accent. The upstroke is making, it's a tap, but it's coming back up to get in position to hit the up and coming accent. Okay, that's the downstroke. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Now I'm going to do that for two measures. Then I'm going to go into the next one, the next two measures, which I take the accent and shift it over to the ends. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the same thing with the left. I'll accent the downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Do we all understand that, gentlemen? Hello? Everyone here that's watching and listening, they're not in the chat. I would appreciate if you get into the chat and acknowledge yourself. Say hello, good evening, good morning, or wherever in the world you're at. Good afternoon, or it's lunchtime, or you can't really type because you're at work on the phone watching this. Gentlemen, you're going to get in trouble. Okay, so let's put a tempo on that. I'm going to do the sequence just with the right hand right now, and I'll revert to the left hand as well. And that's a quarter note pulse. That's 100. Hello, how you doing? So I'm just playing, that's the quarter note. I'm going to play eighth notes. Notice it's about the half stroke position. I'm maintaining one sound. Now I'm going to do two measures, accenting the 1, 2, 3, 4, and after I do that, I'm going to take the accent and place it on the ands for two measures. Here we go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Back. Okay, let me break that down, what's occurring, especially after I make the transition from the first sequence, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what I'm doing there is down, up, down, up. Any of you gentlemen watched the two shows I had this weekend on my site? That was on Saturday, the great Mike Clark, and on Sunday, the magnificent Daniel Glass. Both gentlemen did a wonderful job. And we're trying to edit the video for Daniel Glass. Hopefully we could do something with it because we had some computer issues. And I'll post it around. Or send it to you if you're on my email list. Okay, so now, when you're making the transition from, say, the last measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Instead of coming up there, you need to stay down. Because you're moving the accent over to the end. So you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now making the transition back to the beginning. So that's a full stroke, or a free stroke rather. And I come down to make the transition. 3, 4. Okay, we got something in the chat. Let's see. Well, you can't stay down. When you say you always stay down, how you gonna? That's good. I like that. Stay down. You can't stay down. The stick has to go into a different position. For a couple years when I was younger, I did take lessons with the gentleman who used to teach at the Adler building. I don't want to mention names because then, I have a problem with that. What is this? Well, it's not pulling up. You have to let the stick work for you. I had somebody teach me how to go like this and then pinch an accent, which is terrible. Don't make any sense. That's not what occurs. I want a loud volume, I'm hitting from here. I want a soft volume, I'm hitting from here. Okay, if I want to put myself in position, it's not the last second, it's occurring. Like if I'm playing faster, like here, I'm not playing like a robot, but there's a movement here. If I want to accent the 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no last minute, it's in tempo. Yeah, we have discussed this before, but it's okay to discuss it again and to revisit this because there are people watching that don't understand. All right? What we're talking about. What we're doing, we're maintaining one sound. And whenever I want an accent, I don't pull the stick up. I bring the stick up. There's a difference. Pulling up means like this. If you pull, you're creating tension here. It's loose and it comes up. There's a difference. Okay, so I'm here now. I want to get, say, an accent. Let me play these as 16ths. I want to play an accent of 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm playing 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3. Now when I lift that up, it seems like real quick. Well, it's not real quick. If I was going 1, E, and da, that's quick. Okay? What you're doing is you're doing it in tempo. You're making a movement in tempo so your body's relaxed. 1, E, and 2. There's no whip, it's just up, down. Now I bring it down with some force depending on the accent. If I want to get a lighter accent, I wouldn't come up so high. This is going to give me the spectrum of sound. Okay? Where's my glasses? That's funny. You wear glasses, then you take them off, you can't find them. Well, that's the way it's supposed to look there, Mike. Okay? You're supposed to be in tempo. Alright? And then what's occurring, like I said, if I did this, that's the exercise we did. 1, 2, that's occurring inside of that. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's what my right hand's doing. So I'm going to slow that one down. 1E and the 2. The slower, I keep it in the groove. 1E and the 2E and the 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go, there's the exercise. Got it? Who's this? Ah. Any question is cool, no problem. Ask the question, and if I can, hopefully I can help and answer it. Traditional, okay. Well, there's certain parameters. The question here is, gentlemen, Let me see this what this one is, Mike. Hold on. Well, Mike, it's not making mistakes on the level system. When I'm playing, it's a very natural approach. Okay, when I'm demonstrating, it's actually very difficult to make it correct demonstrating and talking at the same time. So there's a lot involved. Well, it's not being right or wrong. And also, is there a right way? There's the question here, is there a right way or a wrong way to hold the stick traditional? Well, everybody has a slightly different way, only because our hands are different, slightly. Okay? There's something that occurs when you're doing a turn, like so. If you see my stick, I have my elbow in front of me, so my stick is perpendicular. It's like 90 degrees from the drum. You can see that. Now, what I do with my left hand, I just bring it to my side, and I bring it up. It's like this. Now, I have a difficulty with my left hand, you remember, okay, with my pinky, and I cut my arteries when I was younger. But all I do is I bring up my hand, rest the stick in there, like so. I don't arc the stick, because that prevents it from coming straight down and the muscle from moving. I keep my arm totally straight. Okay, and I bring it up like so. Now, I get a fulcrum. I have to find that spot that's a balancing point. Now, some people, because the sticks are different sizes or whatever, some people hold their sticks back here. I can't do that. I have to find a balancing point. I want to get the whole stick working so I can control it. So that's my balancing point. Now, I try to keep two fingers under the stick. Like I said, I have a problem with the pinky. And I keep one finger over the stick. Now, this is for beginners right now, this particular statement here. I keep my thumb in the beginning over that index finger and come down like that. But that kind of chokes it and stiffens it up. Hey, Renzo, how you doing? Okay, so what I do is I make the adjustment what is comfortable for me, but I maintain the parameter of the stick coming down and coming back. Like I said, everybody's slightly different. You might have a big, tiny hand like Donald Trump, or you might have a big hand, or in between. So whatever hand that, you feel good. I have a balancing point here. I let the stick do the work. I control the stick. I throw the stick down. It's like a basketball. So I go like this. But I have a balancing point. Now, without the balancing point, there's a problem. To me, this isn't a balancing point. Try it like that. I have my balancing point here. That's me. You might have it just a little bit down further or a little bit more up. You don't want to get ridiculous and have it back here like this. I've seen some guys hold a stick like that. But then again, if it works for you, hey, go with it. I can't agree with some of that stuff because it don't work for me. And I've had experiences with other people that I've shown this to, it don't work as well. And they have to find that spot. There's actually, there's a lot of things going on with the molar, the stone. There's, you can call it whatever you want to call it. It's the law of physics. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. There's the momentum, the speed, the velocity, I guess, the force of the stick. If I just throw the stick down like so, look, we're working with the left hand. The stick is not going to come back as quickly as if I threw it down hard. Okay? If I throw the stick down lightly, I get a light action. It's like a friend of mine gave me this example one time, and I kind of keep the example because it makes a lot of sense. If you're in a car and you're going 10 miles an hour and you hit a wall, well, the impact is not great. Hopefully you don't get hurt. But if you're going 90 miles an hour, that's the speed of the stick coming down. 90 miles an hour, you make impact, you got an explosion. Does that make sense to you, gentlemen? What are your questions? Well, I don't call it a medium stroke. I mean, what do you mean by medium stroke? The height of the stick or just the relaxation of it? I don't understand what you mean by that. Like the sticking heights, that's the full stroke position, the half stroke position, or the quarter stroke position. I let the stick do the work and I control the stick. What is this here now? What do we got going on? You could ask me all the questions you want. Listen, if I come down here, if I'm hitting the stick of the drum here, I'm not going to I don't have to use a lot of force or velocity here to get the sound. If I want to open up the sound and maintain this tempo, get a louder sound, yeah, I have to come up here. And there's exercises in Joe Morello's master studies too, which he does like this. For example, he'll play a triplet, a measure of triplets, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and he'll do the measure again and hit the da of 4 on the triplet as an accent. Do the measure again, hit the and of 4, so on and so forth. You gentlemen have master studies too by Joe Morello? If you do, that would be our next lesson, gentlemen. All right, here's another question. I love questions. Hopefully I can answer them. All right. All right, well, if you don't have the book, it's best to buy it. If I make you a PDF sheet of the particular lesson, I'll have the copyright police knocking on my door handing me a ticket for $10,000. So I don't want to really go there. Vaden, we'll get to that in a second, okay? You know, there's a whole spectrum here. You know, there's the science of the physics of, you know, the velocity, the speed, the momentum, the weight, the force. It all produces a sound. But you have to remember, if I'm here like this, I have from here to produce a sound. Now if I hit from here, I should technically produce a lighter sound than here. And I have to use more velocity and force. I'm not forcing it as to be intense, but I'm helping the stick get there quicker through my muscle. So I can take something like so, just playing a quarter stroke position, which technically should get, what is it? Yeah, don't do that. All right. If you're playing here, you know, my hand is totally relaxed. You know, we could talk about a grip. You know, everybody grips a stick slightly different. But if you prevent the stick, you hold it too tight, you're actually preventing the sound from going out. If I hold it tight, the sound's going up. You don't want that. If you do that constantly, you're going to run into some physical issues, like carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis. Now, I'm here like this, and I'm maintaining one sound. But now look at the stick. I'm trying to straighten it out with the camera. Now I could come up here, I get a different sound, or up here. And I have that whole spectrum. You're playing with dynamics to develop sound. Now sound is vibration. I let my stick vibrate. I grab the stick, now don't misunderstand me, tight enough so I control it. And that grip that I have is loose enough so the sound projects outward, not inward, and develop physical problems. So if I go like this, that's loose, man. But I have a grip on the stick, and I hold it so I can control it. Now, a lot of other people are afraid that the stick might go flying back or wherever, and they hold on to it for dear life if somebody's going to steal it. There you go. The camera drives me crazy. All right, I throw the stick down, it comes back. Simple. If I throw it down lightly, it doesn't come back as fast as that. It's the velocity, the momentum, the weight, so on and so forth. I can get into a whole scientific approach, and that kind of takes away from the actual. I mean, it is the exercise, but if I explain it, it gets kind of boring, man. Everybody uses levels. Everybody uses control strokes. Everybody. Okay, and it's just a natural way to play. Like I constantly tell people, if I play in front of a little child, 6, 7 years old, if it little, I play with a little baby, a little younger than that, that's a little bit ridiculous. But somebody who could understand, speaking or communicating, and he sees something like this or she sees something like this, and you tell them, they're going to give you an equal sound naturally, and you tell them, okay, hit one louder, they naturally come up and come down. Like so. It's natural. What I do is, if I'm playing, for example, a paradiddle. Now, I'm not thinking there, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. But that is what is occurring. So I slow it way down to reinforce it. That's hand technique. That is what's occurring in there when you're playing a paradiddle. That is it. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It don't matter to me. What does matter is the communication, and it gets very confusing, and it creates a lot of confusion in the drum community. Everybody tells me that that's molar. Well, call it what you want. It's not molar. It's just a natural way to play it. Some people say, "No, that's stone. That's molar." Nah, man. That's what's occurring. Nobody created that. Nobody invented that. It's the laws of physics. We have another question. What do you got? Well, nothing disrespectful. I want to play the paradiddle like me. But that's cool. Well, you have to be down to go up, Mike. How many people are watching? That's it, 7? Alright, I have to come down. I'm going down. Up, tap, tap. That's slow motion. That's what's occurring when I'm playing this. I'm actually down. I have to be down to come up. So I'm not certain as to what you're saying, Mr. Mike. But that's what it is. And everybody comes up, we're going to have your paradiddle twice as fast in 2 weeks or 1 week or 90 days, whatever they're selling. No, man, it takes a long time. When you have control of what you do, you're not limited to taking it to wherever you want. This is what occurs when I do a paradiddle. That's very slow motion. If you had a camera and you were taking this video like this, and you played it back, and you had a metronome on the camera, and you slowed it almost to stand still, this is what you would see. Now, I didn't create that. There's no shortcut to that. That's what's occurring. The slower you play something, the more control you need. That's number one. Number two, once you get it going on, you're developing control. You're strengthening your control. And you can take it up a little bit faster, another notch and another notch. In my opinion, there are no shortcuts to all of this. Well, you practice the way you want, Mr. Mike. But this is how I teach, and this is how I practice. The slower you practice something, the more control you need. The speed element doesn't mean anything. All right? If you want to develop speed, you need to have control. Control begins slow. You reinforce it. If you have enough control here, fine, move on. I mean, I don't sit there and practice paradiddles like so. Alright, let me demonstrate. There's no free stroke when I'm doing a single paradiddle. It's just a downstroke, upstroke, tap, tap. Downstroke, upstroke, tap, tap. Now, I'm going to go take it to the double paradiddle, where I'm going to play 2 accents on the double paradiddle. I'm going to think the double paradiddle in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My accent's going to be on the count of 1 and 3. Now, I'm exaggerating my motion. If you took a still of me beginning to do a paradiddle, that's what you would see. Okay? Now, what happens is I'm going to do the double paradiddle without, okay, without a accent, or I'm going to put 2 accents, no accents, just one sound, but the double paradiddle sticky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double paradiddle. Now, what I want to do is bring the paradiddle down to another level and play the counts of 1 and 3 as accents. So for me to play 1 and 3 as an accent, this has to be my starting position. And the first stroke has to be a free stroke. I'm not going to be down to make the up and coming right hand accent. I'm here. So I'm going to give me 1 is a free stroke. 2 is a tap. Now 3 is a downstroke, because my up and coming right's not going to be an accent. However, my up and coming left is going to be an accent. So I bring it up. Tap, tap. Now I'm in position to do my left hand double paradiddle with 2 accents. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what occurs. Now, if I'm doing, I'm going to go back to that Morello thing in a second. Let me just see, how's this, where's this? Well, I want to see you do, all right, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong. But what I want to see you do, all right, what you're doing, if you took 170, and that's not very fast, doing paradiddles, single paradiddles, with the first accent, you have to come up to get in position, because you don't have time to stay down and lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What I'm showing you slow motion is exactly what occurred there. So if you keep your stick down, you're not getting there. Or if you're there already by doing what you're doing, you're going to hurt yourself. Well, that's entirely up to you, Mike. I'm just trying to help you out. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay? This is my concept, my approach, and like I told Vadim, there is no right, there is no wrong. You know, there is something that occurs physically, and that's the laws of physics when you're doing accents and non-accent control strokes. And that's what I'm demonstrating, and that's what I'm putting down and showing you what occurs inside of the double paradiddle. Now, I did a video a couple years back, what I refer to as the paradiddle tree. Okay? And I had some issues with this because copyright infringements. One guy said he invented this, and he's not even as old as before I was playing this. I learned this from guys like Gary Shafee, Joe Morello, Alan Dawson. They all played this, and it originated from WFL, the founder of the Ludwig Drum Company. and the owner and one of the members of the NARD, National Association of Rudimental Drummers. So now, because of the fact that it's put on a tab system or tablature or whatever they want to call that, they own it. Well, fine, so be it. But it's not going to prevent me from putting the video of what I learned many years ago before they were even born. So, the paradiddle tree. I don't think of down, up, tap, tap, or free stroke down, free stroke tap, up, or whatever. I'm playing. I'm in position. I've taken the single paradiddle, the double paradiddle, the triple paradiddle, and the paradiddle diddles. Okay? And I got something for you, Mike, in a second after I demonstrate this. All right, what I do is I don't know if everybody here is familiar with Mitch Markovich. He was the international rudimental champion, or national champ rather, for a long, long time. All right, and I seen him in person in clinic, and he did this exercise as well. We're talking over 50 years ago. It's a long time for me or for everybody. What I do is you play what you say. Paradiddle, paradiddle, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, triple double paradiddle, triple double paradiddle diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle diddle. So I'm playing two single paradiddles, two double paradiddles, two triple paradiddles, and they all have accents. The single paradiddle has one, double paradiddle has two, the triple paradiddle has three, and the paradiddle diddle only one accent. And I'll pay it up a little bit. Paradiddle, paradiddle, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, triple double paradiddle, triple double paradiddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. Now, when you play that, you don't have time to think of it's a downstroke, an upstroke, or whatever. It's just natural. You're putting yourself in position because you've taken that slow and you understand what's occurring. When you understand what's occurring, you just reinforce it, making it stronger. Now, one of your questions, Mr. Mike, okay, hold on. Let me find my glasses again. About you don't stay up, you don't come down, and all that shit. And I'm not giving you a hard time. Well, here's a good exercise, and this is in Master Studies too, as well. And it's something that, just let me explain a little of my experiences with Mr. Joe Morella. I mean, the great Mr. Joe Morella. Okay? If you type too much, they're going to stop it for a minute, but that's okay. In between typing, just, slow down somewhat. When I used to go see him, and I studied with him for, I would say close to 30 years on and off. And when I say on, it would be 2 lessons, then off maybe 3 months. Then back to him, going on the road, playing with the bands, coming back and taking a lesson. So that held up for about 30 years. And when I did go to see him, we always had to think about how many different ways could you do the stick control book. And I did rob a few from his book, Master Studies 1. But this is in Master Studies 2, where I did a formula with stick control, making an R equal a right-hand paradiddle. Now, when I say right-hand paradiddle, I mean right, left, right, right, with the accent on the first stroke. And, I consider that a right-hand paradiddle. And when you do a left-hand paradiddle, you're doing left, right, left, left. You're leading with the left hand. So, when I do a paradiddle right like this, right, left, I'm doing a alternating paradiddle. So if I did a run of right-hand paradiddles, it would be this. Now you don't have time here not to bring it up. You better be up there. So what I did was I made R equal right hand paradiddle, and I made L equal left hand paradiddle. And this is in his book. And I'm not going to argue with anybody, but he put it in his book. And I kind of came up with that formula, but I'm not going to take credit for that. It's in his book. Someone else took credit for it. Okay, so now, what you're doing there, what you're saying, Mike, is exactly what I'm saying, but you're in a higher speed. If you lower it down, you need to have control. Okay, now, let's take a formula like R equals right, left, right, right. L equals left, right, left, left. This will put you right, Mr. Mike. Okay, if I did 2 rights in a row or 2 lefts in a row, I'd have this. You don't have time to stay down. That's my point. You have to go with the flow, in the groove, or in the motion. I don't like to say the groove because it's not a groove, but inside of the motion, you have to make it in tempo. That's all I'm saying. This is a pretty interesting lesson here today, Mr. Mike. Very good. Okay. Now, when I play exercises like that, right-hand paradiddle or left-hand paradiddle, I've noticed something that it makes me play, not that I'm a speed freak or anything, but it makes me play this a lot easier, the alternating paradiddle. So if I did a run of 4 right hands and 4 left hands, in which in formula it would be line 13 of the stick control book, right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 left. Now you got to move on that one, okay? But that's to me a really good exercise. And if you want to take a journey into making your levels correct, I mean, as natural as it is, if you start to think about it, it gets a little confusing, and you got to take that confusion and make it stronger, or reinforce what is natural. That's all I'm saying. But then again, I say, whatever works for you, fine, because this works for me, and it works for many of my students as well. Well, all of my students as well. Okay? Now, if you want to take the journey into the levels, do it slow, because that's going to teach you how to bring the stick up, in position to hit the accent, so on and so forth. All right, I have to close it up now, gentlemen, but I'm waiting for a response for, I don't know if anybody knows, I'm waiting for an email from Kim Plainfield from Berklee College of Music, and hopefully when he's in New York he'd come down and do a show for me, and that would be fantastic. Okay, I'm trying to bring to everybody as much as I possibly can to the drum community. When I was a kid, I feel like a kid most of the time, but when I was a kid, we didn't have all of this. And if I wanted to go see Gene Krupa, I went to see Gene Krupa. But on YouTube, you have him. If I wanted to see Buddy Rich, I had to go see him, but you have him on YouTube. And I saw all 3 of them. As a matter of fact, I played a gig with Gene Krupa. That was one of the highlights of my life. My hero, and I'm on stage with him. Man. But anyway, if you gentlemen, I'm only going to do maybe one more show on my site come from now till the end of the year, and then we'll go back full force come the beginning of the year. Now, if everybody wants to see a drum set application, you have to become a member of my site, which I do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, okay, at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and the price is $14.95 for a month. Now that's not bad, man. That's like almost if you get 24 lessons for $14.99. So if you'd like to, and you feel like you want to see drum set applications and do what I'm doing, and how to take what you do on one surface and move it around and orchestrate it on the drum set, you need to register. I had it open for a month, 2 months. I think we have 2 months, and it was pretty cool. Well, I have also the first weekend in November, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, from 10 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, sort of a mini camp. And so far I have a few people who will be attending. So I do that occasionally, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you're not too far away, if you feel, you can come to New Jersey and spend a couple days, that would be cool. The more the merrier, and the more fun we have and the more we learn. Where are you from, Mike? Don't tell me Australia. Alright, well, I'm going to close it up. I just like to know where you're from, Mr. Mike. Arizona. Okay. What kind of work do you do? Because this is my work right here. Okay. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, 1 p.m. So, if you feel like you want to come, alright, well, you're good with money then. Very good. Okay, I need to go. I have to sign off. And what I'll do is, how do I sign off this thing? There you go. It's not letting me sign off. Hold on.